guys, it's your girl SolieSims and welcome to another speed build video, and this time it is for the Facebook group page, The Sims for Origin, and we are doing a small town downtown build, and my theme for it was the Old West. It's not a themed challenge per se, it's just that I decided to do the Old West for some reason, and I quite like it. I like how it turned out. So we were required to build a mercantile, a restaurant, a cafe, and some kind of entertainment building. So I went with a saloon, a tea shop, a restaurant and hotel. The tea shop also doubles as a dress shop, and then the regular mercantile as well. I also want to apologize from now for the length of the video. This took me a couple of days, more than 2 days definitely for me to build, and I had to take a little break in between here and there, so it kind of stretched out the length of time for the video, and I did not do the whole finish. I did not complete the finishings on camera. There are some that I did off camera just because it just made it so much easier for me, and then in the end, of course guys, you will see the full screenshots with everything going on. I left the roofs pretty flat on all of the builds except maybe the hotel, because although I did try to incorporate some type of roof on most of them, but I left it mostly flat because in the Wild West there was always, those little shootouts, and there was just always enough space on top of the roof for the gunfights to take place, and which is pretty cool. A lot of ambush space as well. So I just did the saloon. The saloon will have just the bar area downstairs, as well as the upstairs. I did a loft area where there is card table where you just you play your games and stuff. I was just trying to figure out how I was doing it, because again, I am building, but I never had any idea what it is I'm building in mind, and I needed it to have access to the balcony on the upper floor. I did use a lot of CC because CC was actually allowed in the game, so I did use quite a bit of CC, and I will try my very best to link as many of the pieces that I did use in the game. I have no guarantee that I will name every single piece that I use, and I do apologize if I missed out on including anybody's CC. I made my own little trough and a little, I don't know what it's called, but where you hitch the horses to when you're going in to the saloon. Well, yeah, I did one of those as well. Now, only after, and I think I will show probably, because I think I was recording at the time when I was going through when I was going through the statues, I realized that there is a storefront in game, not for the saloon, and it's part of, I guess it came in with Get Famous, but I have never really played Get Famous, the careers in there, so I wasn't even aware that there was an Old West theme going on there. So they did a much better job in recreating the trough and everything. Is it a trough or true? Because you see, the thing is, it's pronounced I think it's spelled the same way. I think it's called a true. I'm not sure, guys. If I'm wrong, then I apologize, and if I'm right, then I was right. So I also did a water tower. It's not the very best water tower, and I know that there are so many different things that I could have done with it, but I kind of like it. I do. I like how it turned out. So like I was saying, I doubled most of the buildings that I was doing. I think the only two that stayed as just buildings they were meant to be originally is the mercantile and the saloon, and it's just that there's no double building with that. Now I have this saved as I did not upload it up to the gallery, but I will be doing so. There are I saved it up. I saved it as a retail shop, but it can be used as a bar or a park. Maybe even it can even be used as a residential lot, because there are beds, there's a kitchen, there's everything really there. It can be used as a retail shop. It can be, I think I said cafe, I can't remember. If not, then yes, it can be used as a cafe as well. Like I said, it's really up to your imagination what it is that you want to do, and then we can always just take it from there and see how it is. Now like I said, I apologize for the length of the video, and I also want to apologize for the background noise that you might be hearing. It's really, really hot today. It's like 83 degrees, and although it is raining, the clouds are like so heavy. The sky is heavy with clouds, and I do love the rain, guys. Tell me you guys love the rain too. I don't like being out in it, but I do love a nice rainy day where you can snuggle up and have a nice cup of coffee or tea or nice soup, to help warm you up. But right now, like I said, 83 degrees. It's really, really humid. Although it is raining, there's like this air of heaviness pressing down. So I have my fan going. So if you hear that noise in the background, that's what it is. And again, my window is open to allow some air to come in because just to circulate, because the place is so warm. So I apologize for any background noise you might be hearing. That is just beyond my control for the time being. So we're not going to only talk about the build, but we're going to talk about also the people behind the build. And I want to think that that the owner of the hotel and the owner of the tea shop, they own both of them. These are their two buildings. The mercantile, I think I would like to say, has been around for the longest. It has been around for the longest, and maybe he or she is being pressured to try to sell out by the owner of the hotel. So there is a little bit of drama coming into play right now with this whole thing between them. So that is what's going on. That's what's going on with it. So the owner of the hotel and the tea shop is trying to kind of buy out the whole strip, and the mercantile owner is just saying, no, I'm not having it. So it's the only mercantile store in town, and I guess that's why they kind of want to hone in on getting it, like, profit isn't big enough as it is, right? Owning two businesses. So he owns the restaurant I did downstairs of the hotel, and the hotel just has 3 rooms upstairs, but it is it's a pretty okay. I mean, one of the rooms it's a pretty large spot upstairs. But again, we'll come to that, and then you will see for yourself what it is I mean. And the saloon is exclusive only to the men. No women are allowed in there at all, at no given point in time. Guys, I know I realized whilst I was doing my build that a bit of the wall from the saloon was not painted properly. I did sort that out after, and of course you guys will see. But like I was saying, the saloon is only men only, and there are of course the few women who will be plying their wares, but you would have to take up, normally I think there's a room in the saloon, or rooms in the saloon upstairs or something, or at the back, that allows for that. And I did leave some space in the back for it, because I didn't I didn't incorporate it in my game, but in case anybody else wanted to, that's always an option to get to do that, to build the wear room for those ladies who advertise in the saloon. Now, the tea room, of course, as the name suggests, is where teas are being served. There are various types that you can have, and along with cakes and biscuits, etc. And you get the finest selection of dresses, and it's such an exclusive dress shop in the back of the tea room that it's only a handful of people are allowed to go in. Now, I finished the mercantile first because I think it was probably for me the easiest shop for me to complete, and I think it was my favorite as well. In all the 4 builds, let me tell you guys, it's hard for me to choose an exterior that I like the best in the 4 of them, because each had its own different style. I would have said initially I love the look of the hotel simply because it has that little chic look to it. But then I look at the tea room and I think, oh my gosh, the tea room looks so cute. With the exterior looks so cute. It looks so dainty and feminine. But then I look at the mercantile and I see like it looks a little bit run down. It looks like it's seen its time. And there is just the leaves scattered everywhere on the side porch as well as all around. It's just a little bit unkempt and it's overcrowded. I like it a lot, guys. Now, all the time I'm building this, if you notice the mailbox, yes, the mailbox was there because I initially bought it as a residential lot, before realizing, silly me, that I need it to be a more of a retail type lot. And then I had to go out and do the whole change, etc., into a retail lot and build in. How did I build? I built in Manage Worlds, and I started it with that. But then there were things that I needed to be done in game, so I had to have my test sim, go in and purchase the lot. So it can be, like I said, it's pretty versatile with all the different types of things that you can do in it. And I ended up leaving it as a retail lot. Now, I was just going through all some of the stuff. Now, there were lots of CC. Well, let me tell you, at the time looking for CC, it wasn't easy for me. I got some help getting the CC that I wanted from a good friend of mine who does CC herself. And I said, I need this and I need that, and I cannot find this, and she was so helpful. She gave me like 3 different sites that I could have gone through and found stuff. I'm not much of an alpha CC user, and there were some pieces that were a bit alpha, and they may or may not have found their way into the game. And then all those other CC, Maxis Match CC, that is just so beautiful and it just ties in so well. I don't know, I just love it. I did use a lot from the Plumbob Tea Society, and man, these ladies, well, I'm not sure if it's just all ladies, but all of them in there, they did such a superb job in creating the stuff packs. I really miss that there be collaborations in doing this. I use a lot of their stuff. I download off of Tumblr because the site is still up. The page is still up for those of you who are curious or who wants to try their hand at some of the stuff. They have really nice stuff and the site is still up. They just don't create anything new as a group. It's just more individual simmers now doing their own thing. And I got all of these things from, I can't remember which one of the packs. They created a whole bunch of packs. So I got the different types of vegetables and fruits, the baskets as well. I got it's one of those flower stands. I just got a whole bunch of stuff, guys, like a whole bunch of stuff, and I was able to incorporate it into this build. if you do want to download the build without the CC, that can happen as well. It's totally okay, and I guess the game will replace whatever it is it wants to replace. And again, if you don't like this or you don't like that, you just you tweak it your own way. I did not put any electrical lighting in the mercantile store, simply because I like to think that it is running a bit behind the modern amenities that maybe the hotel and the coffee shop would have, the tea shop would have, simply because it is like I said, a little behind its time. And they had to go to this big city to bring in all those things for the hotel, etc. So it's just a little bit more chic, a little bit more everything. So I just put in a whole mix of different things that could probably be sold in the mercantile store, and in the back it's just a whole bunch of storage. I did not even do any shelving in the back. I didn't put up any shelving at all. And I think like I said, the mercantile is probably one of my very best the very best bills in this little town that I did. I just love it so much. It's my favorite. And as usual, I put out a whole bunch of stuff that I never really may not have ever used, but I had the intention of maybe using, so I just put it on the side because I can never find anything when I need it. And then the other CC just came in to help me so much with with what it is that I had in mind for what it is that I wanted to do. I did want to have a wanted poster, and I asked my friend McCrafty 1976 to do it for me. Well, she is called Atsy Fatsy McCrafty. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm stumbling over her name. Atsy Fatsy McCrafty on Tumblr, and she did. I think I used some of her CC, and she did the wanted poster that I really, really wanted. She did it up for me, and I was happy about that. So we're doing the tea shop now, and I played around with it a bit because I don't know, it wasn't as easy as I would have liked to come up with. I always felt like I'm doing it and I was thinking, the colors, already guys, the colors never match this, and it just never comes together the way that you want it to really come together. So I wanted the wallpapers to be a little bit chintzy, and I made those wallpapers myself. Yay me! I made the wallpapers myself, and I'm glad with how it turned out. I just wish that I had realized that the walls were so high to begin with, and I just didn't want to resize it because I think in some of the builds it just turned out so well, so I just left it alone. And in the end I think it works out well. So this is just this cozy little space where the ladies go to have tea and cake and just gossip. And like I said, in the back it's just like this really exclusive trash shop, so it's only the very rich or well-to-do ushered into the back of the tea shop to see what new wares are there and whether they can afford to get it. Well, not whether they can afford, they can because they're rich, but whether it's a style that they want to have. So basically that is what it is. And I just put in a couple of teacups to make it look like there are some, it has been used and just not cleaned up. And again, this is from the Plum Bob Tea Society because they just have some awesome stuff, guys. I just love using their stuff always that I'm using it. All of this, most of their stuff, even the wall, I don't know what it's called now, the mug thing, the mug rack that I put up, it's from them as well. So and it just all ties in. I do wish that I had taken the time for me to go hunting up for some more authentic pieces in regards to the retail pieces. Like I think that the cash register that I used, maybe I shouldn't have used that cash register. Maybe I should have tried to get the ones with the pins, the long, the pins from long time ago. But whenever I'm building, I'm always in two minds. I'm always so confused about whether or not I want to actually use the NACC at all or not. But I knew with this particular build there are some things that I would want and I would not be able to get it in game. So that was where my torn idea of whether or not I wanted CC to be in or out. Now after I bought the excuse me, the mannequins, that is when I decided I'm going to go ahead and have my sim purchased a lot, because I wanted to dress them up. I wanted to give them the right outfits for the era. And so I went on to do part of the saloon before I paused to go get my girl to get in game and do it for me. The bar and the area behind the bar, as well as the stools for the bar, is all CC. Again, I can't remember the name of the person, but I will be linking it in the description box below. And downstairs the saloon, like I think I may have mentioned, I'm not sure, I only left it as like a large sitting area where you come in. There's music as well, there is a washroom also, and upstairs is all about the card tables. I thought about leaving the llama game, but then I figured that the card table kind of suited the space more, so there'll probably be lots of brawls happening here, lots of fights and stuff. I did end up changing the light fixtures. I just put those round lights in there just for me to have some light and see what it is I'm doing, but I did change it up and put in some lanterns for the walls. So that's what I did. Yeah, I put in some lanterns for the walls, so it's almost like it can either be like a week supply of electricity going through there, which makes the lighting in the saloon a little bit dim, which kind of suits a saloon, I think, as well. Or it could be that it's candles that's being used, and it's just encased in those cutesy kind of masculine looking light fixtures. So that would work as well, I think, and it worked pretty well. I'm wondering now, and I did use the big round light chandelier, kind of the type of chandeliers with the candles in them. Yeah, it helped to tie in and just bringing in enough brightness to the place, but keeping it as a little bit dark and broody as well. Let me tell you guys, I said that I wasn't going to talk much about the build, and I don't know why I'm finding myself explaining everything that I'm doing in the build when this is not something that I usually do on my channel. I normally let the build just go on its own course, and I give you a backstory on the whole build. Well, I don't really have a backstory. Not this time around. I don't have a backstory, which is why I guess I'm talking so much about the build. But yeah, I think it turned out well overall on all aspects. I liked it, and I got such great feedback from everybody when I posted teaser shots of it, and it made me feel good. It made me feel good that somebody else was watching and thinking that it had the correct aesthetic, that it looked as good as I thought that it did, and it wasn't just me thinking it or me thinking that it wasn't as well. You know how we can be critical of our own work sometimes, and that is always the case with me with any of my builds, and then I get such such an outpouring of support from everybody who watches it, and it makes me feel good, and I appreciate it so much that that my builds are liked, that they were liked. So we're doing some landscaping, and I think these rocks are all CC. I don't know again where those particular rocks are from, and I can't remember. I think those cacti that I am placing, they're probably from I don't know. I can't remember if it is from the Plum Bob Society, or if it's from, I think it's from this new pack that I added lately. Now these Joshua trees that was placed here, I didn't know whether or not that they would suit the desert. I mean, like I said, I downloaded a whole bunch of stuff, and then I'm going through and I'm seeing these trees, and I'm saying it kind of looks like the desert, but what if it doesn't fit in to it? So I went online to read up on it a bit, and yes, they actually do fit in. And I think it's there's a national park named after the Joshua trees in California, in the guys, I know I'm going to slaughter the name of this desert, the Mojave. I don't know, Mojave, Mojave Desert, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it was just an interesting read, and I quite enjoyed it. It was nice. I liked it. And in Oasis Springs, again, it's not a place that I've really played that often. It's good for my building. Depends on what it is that I'm building. I use that a lot. But when I placed the trees, when I was trying to find the right tree, because I wanted to make like this little sitting park cool out area for when you ride in and you don't really want to go in, you just kind of you're still sitting and just waiting outside under the trees. I was trying to find the right tree that I wanted to place there, and guys, let me tell you, the shimmer you would get, this wavy haze from the heat. Whenever I'm building, it's always either a cloudy day, a rainy day, and I have to wait forever because my girl gets days when I try to have her change the weather. But today, I did not have that problem at all. Well, the last couple of days, I didn't have that problem at all because it was so hot. And the game actually showed you the heat, and I think that's just an awesome feature. And I don't know, it's probably me being so behind the times with this happening, but I really like it. I mean, it just adds so much more, and I really should try to explore gameplay as much as I do build. I was just trying different types of wallpaper. I kind of like the big rose ones, but I end up settling for the ones that I had before. So like I said, the hotel is just 3 bedrooms. It is 1 large room, and like the honeymoon suite, we could say, and then there are 2 smaller rooms with double beds. Well, not double beds exactly, but there are 2 beds in each. 2 singlets in each room, and that's what I did. And again, whoever downloads, if they do download, they can do the back of the establishment however they wish to, because there is space in the back for that to happen. So that can always be done. But I think overall this challenge was just an interesting one, because it was different from what you normally come across in regards to the different types of challenge builds that they're asking you to do and expecting you to put out. Just the mere fact that we had to do a whole 4 different types of builds, it was kind of interesting. It was very interesting having to do 4 different 4 different buildings on 1 lot. That was pretty awesome. If a little bit challenging, and I'm glad that I was able to do it and submit it before the deadline, which was the 20th, or rather which was the 20th of June, and I was able to do that before then, I did not waste my time playing around this time around, and scrambling last minute to try and figure out what it is that I'm going to do. I don't know what I would have done, honestly. So yeah, basically upstairs doesn't have much of sitting in the veranda. It's just I guess they probably don't really go out and use the veranda. It's just there for being a veranda sake, I guess. But it all turned out well in the end. I left the kitchen downstairs. I left it kind of with the rustic feel to it. I did end up adding, I think after I recorded and I was doing the last minute finishings, because I didn't do everything. Like I said, I think it's mostly the landscaping that I didn't get to do on camera. And I was showing my daughter the different buildings, and she's like, "Oh wow, mommy, are those cupboards? No, are those CC fridges for these two cupboards here?" And I'm like, no, that's just the cupboards came in the game. And she's saying to me, so how are they supposed to, like, how are they supposed to cook if they don't have the fridge? I mean, there is the stove, yes, so they can do certain things, but I think with the fridge you get certain extra stuff that you can actually use. So I said, well, maybe they're all vegetarian there, and she just looked at me. So I went to get the fridge. I changed the fridge in the end, and you will see it in the screenshots that I added the rustic looking fridge as well. So it ends up being in there. And yeah, and then the kitchen, not the kitchen, the restaurant area is just kind of plain. There is nothing, it's not overly fancy, it's not overly, it has its use, and that is what it's there for. That is just what it's going to be used for. And as long as there is enough seating, and it's not an overly overly busy establishment. It is just ideal for people passing through, and it's a slowly growing community, so eventually it will pick up, I guess. So we're coming along to the end of the video. I will be, like I said, putting in the screenshots so you can see how everything worked out from start to finish. I hope that you enjoyed this build as much as I enjoyed building it and showing it off to you guys. Like I said, it was a long video, and I do apologize, but I just didn't want to speed it up too much, and then we're caught being dizzy like I am when I watch the too fast videos. Yeah, so I just left it as it is. But like I said, if you did like the video, leave a comment below telling me exactly what part of the video that you liked, or which build was your favorite. I'm always happy to hear from you guys, and if you haven't subscribed to me as yet, please do so now, because I am always happy to interact with my followers. And I will see you again, guys, in my next video. Bye.